Before we kick off today's game, we do have a special presentation, ladies and gentlemen. In December, your KW Titans collaborated with the local branch of the Salvation Army for our preseason game. In total, the Salvation Army received 342 toys, 22 pounds of food, and $280 in cash donations. In addition, the Titans are pleased to provide the game receipts from that game to assist with the great humanitarian services and programs that the Salvation Army provide in our community. Major Miriam Stevens of the local KW branch of the Salvation Army is pleased to accept from our Titans ownership group, represented by Cam Ball, Jeff Berg, and Leon Martin, a check for $1,800. Thank you, Titans fans. And now here are your starting lineups for today's game. First for the visitors on the scoreboard, wearing gold, the London Lightning. A 6'4" guard from Poughkeepsie, New York, number 9, Doug Herring Jr. A 6'5" guard from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, number 15, Garrett Williamson. A 6'8" center from Minneapolis, Minnesota, number 30, Royce White. A 6'4" guard from Seattle, Washington, number 44, Ryan Anderson. And a 6'7" forward from Jacksonville, North Carolina, number 45, Marvin Phillips. The Lightning are coached by Kyle Julius.
The red-hot London Lightning are in town, having won 18 of their last 19 games. Meanwhile, the KW Titans, after winning 3 in a row just like that, have dropped 3 in a row. They're coming into today holding on to that final playoff spot and look to try and salvage a tie in this season series with the Lightning. Hello, everyone, and welcome inside the Kitchener Memorial Auditorium. Ian Jodry and Dan Polishuk here with you on this Sunday afternoon. As we mentioned, this London team scorching hot, coming off a record streak, and as you mentioned, coming in having won 18 of their last 19. KW, they're coming off a back-to-back on the road where they did not fare too well, especially down the stretch.
No, absolutely. With the Orangeville, that loss, their third straight loss since being a game under 500, they're looking to equal that total last Sunday afternoon, and they got off to a slow start against Niagara. 3 straight losses now. Only 17 points for in that fourth quarter in the road loss to Orangeville. That certainly won't get the job done, especially when you're allowing over 30 points in the final frame.
That win last Saturday night against Orangeville put them into second. They catapulted both the A's and the Express for second in the Central, and things have gone quite south since then. Of course, the loss to Niagara at home on Sunday, and then we're They went to Budweiser Gardens on Thursday, simply could not get things going against the Lightning, made a comeback effort in the fourth quarter, only ended up losing by 10. Meanwhile, against Orangeville on Friday was the exact opposite, where they maintained the lead for the majority of the game, headed into the fourth quarter with a double-digit lead, up 11, their biggest of the game, and ultimately they struggled in the fourth, scoring only 14 points and allowing Orangeville to complete the comeback.
It's just all a matter of finding consistency for the KW Titans. All the roster changes aside, it's got to come sooner rather than later now. You're in the home stretch of your season, and you know, at one point they were kind of sitting comfortably in that second and third spot. Now you're just 2.5 games out, or 1.5 games out rather, out of a playoff spot. So the Titans here, sporting their camouflage jerseys again this afternoon, are looking to defeat London for just the second time this regular season.
London leads the 4-1 the series, 4-1. Ryan Anderson with the steal right off the bat. The Titans are one of the top turnover generators in the league with steals and blocks. That time they surrender one to open the game. Here's Doug Herring Jr. at a game-high 22 points in London's win last night over the A's. Phillips, step-back jumper, won't get it to go. The offensive rebound, Williamson, also no good. And Leonard Whitfield, one of the newer acquisitions there, to pull it down. London is in the midst of their back-to-back-to-back. This is part two. Of course, they won part one last night on the road against Orangeville. Then they'll head back home to take on the A's again at Budweiser Gardens. Step back three off the mark from Horton. And Herring there for another board.
And it's been a slow start for Whitfield. You mentioned his name already. About 8.5 points per game on average. But they're looking for a good option coming off the bench as well. So he's getting the start this afternoon, but it's kind of been back and forth with Whitfield getting the start today.
Good closeout defensive possession there by the Titans. Herring forced to put up a low percentage look as the shot clock expired. Whitfield, the pump fake, draws inside. Can't get it to go, eye off the window, and Royce White pulls down the board, and feel like we're going to be saying that a lot today. He's been a double-double and sometimes triple-double machine. Of course, the former #1 NBA pick, first round NBA pick by the Houston Rockets, has had his way with this league since coming in this season. Baseline jumper off the mark that time from Whitfield, 0 for 2 now to start the game.
I should have mentioned one of the latest transactions, I guess the latest transaction for the KW Titans in Isaiah Umapig. He won't be on or with the team until Tuesday morning, from what GM Stu Julius told us pre-game. So he'll likely be suiting up for his first time with the Titans on Thursday, road game against Niagara.
The Titans also playing their third game in 4 days, trying to snap this 3-game losing funk. White, reverse. They'll get that one a drop for the first points of the afternoon.
He certainly has a presence around the basket, doesn't he?
He'll do that to you. Horton watched by Doug Herring Jr. Tries to get the screen that time from Whitfield. Shot clock down to 10. Horton going one-on-one with White, steps back, way off the mark. Titans 0 for 4 in field goals to start the game. White, dry baseline, tries to dish it off to Williamson, but instead comes right back to White. Phillips left alone for 3. It won't go.
And Blazik does a good job on the box out, and for that he'll garner the foul call. That going against London's Garrett Williamson. And Blazik's teammate, Adam Wing, has his dad in the house today with performing a very nice rendition of O Canada.
Beautiful.
Prolific trumpeter. So he's made his way from the southern states to be here not only with his son, but give us a bit of a treat pre-game.
Blazik off the mark once again. The Titans 0 for 5 to start the game. Now 3+ minutes without a score. London has not fared too well either. Here's White backing down in the post and draws the foul.
And that's going to be Whitfield, I do believe.
It's going to go on Wing, actually, #1 for him. It seems like that's what White tends to do, wear you down in the post. If he doesn't score, he seems to draw the foul. Very rarely does he come up empty when he gets that positioning down low. White into the corner, Anderson 3, no good. Phillips battling for the offensive board, but he stepped out. So will be Titans ball. And we talk about the Titans going 0 for 5 to start the game. London just 1 for 6. Neither team has found their groove, and it's very rare that you can say that about this London team.
But it's usually the case that KW find themselves in a big hole offensively in the early goings, but fortunately for them, the Lightning coming into this one shooting a little slowly as well.
Blazik tries to swing that one all the way across to Adam Wing, but into the first row. There's the second turnover of the afternoon for KW. Not been able to find that groove offensively just yet. Herring gonna back his way across the timeline. Anderson, quick pass. Phillips trying to work down low, draws the double, gets the pass off and turned over into the hands of Ed Horton. Good double team that time from Wing and Whitfield. And then it's Horton who draws the foul at center court. That'll draw the first substitution of the game. Julian Boyd checking in for London.
Good collapse in there of the Titans down low, doubling as you said, and forcing that errant pass to the outside, and resulted in the transition the other way. Now KW with a chance to maybe now put up their first points of the ball game on this trip.
4:09 gone, still a 2-0 basketball game. Wing. Dish inside, and it's Whitfield going to go to work in the post against Julian Boyd. Shot clock hits 9. Whitfield into the corner. Wing 3 off the mark. And into the hands of Cooper. Got tipped by Blazik, and a fresh 24 for the Titans, and they're going to slow down the pace and try and break this scoreless deadlock that they've gotten themselves into to start the game. 2-0 Lightning. Whitfield, the pump fake, the drive against White, almost lost it, fading away. And another front rim, so the Titans 0 for 7 from the field to start the game. Herring floats it in. White, the one-hand jam.
Boyd does it well defensively. Just before that previous sequence, cutting off Whitfield down low and forcing KW to take a long-distance shot. There you see a nice pass, stretch pass there for Royce White. Put it back for an easy 2.
Whitfield misses the layup. It's now 5+ minutes without a basket. Whitfield trying to force a turnover. Wing dives on it. Whistle down, but a kick ball violation, and more substitutions coming for the Lightning. Joel Friesen, Kyle Johnson.
And I like this with Ed Horton, or as London Lightning fans will remember him as Uncle Ed, just bringing his squad together there just for a split second, just saying, guys, calm down. Let's get this thing together here. Get a little sharper with their shooting. That's a veteran presence right there, and why they brought him into the fold. And he's been nothing short of excellent for the Titans. 17.8 points a game, and it's just 4 games with KW.
George Blakeney also checking into the game, averaging about 10 points over his first 7 games played with KW. Blazik pushing the other way. Finds Jason Kalist, also making his first appearance off the bench. Kalist in the corner. Whitfield 3-ball, knocks it down. And finally, after 5:36, the Titans are on the board, and believe it or not, find themselves within 1. An extremely low-scoring affair to start. Herring, the drive high off the window, but 2 shots coming as he got fouled on the way by.
Yeah, Whitfield just 4 3-pointers made this season with the Titans in 4 games played. Now 5 games played, so it's certainly not a huge threat from beyond the arc, but able to pull one back for the Titans for the first points of the ball game. Jamar Sutherland checking in now for KW.
Herring at the line, and he's an 86% free throw shooter this year. Knocks down number 1. Anthony Criswell also into the game for the Lightning. Herring, good on both. We mentioned 22 points for him last night in London's 109-91 win at Athlete Institute. He struggled the last game against the Titans, though, on Thursday, just 2 for 10 from the field. Former NBL Canada All-Star with the St. John Murrats. Wing driving against Friesen, gonna go back up top. Calise, the quick release three, but off the mark. 6-3 London, and we're already halfway through the first quarter. Not a whole lot of scoring. Herring wants some help from Boyd, who tries to go around Calise. Pass down low, Criswell, the pump fake, and the finish.
Nice pass in traffic and down low, and Criswell helped himself out with the pump fake. Kissed it off the window for an extra 2 for London. Find themselves up by 5 now.
An 8-3 run by the Lightning to start the game, and the Titans come up empty on this possession. Don't be surprised at all if Coach Langus takes that timeout around this point. Surprised he hasn't taken one yet. Calise stepped out of bounds. That's a turnover.
Yeah, we've got the TV timeout. That's exactly why he didn't call it, I guess. So
5:09 to go, and 8-3 London coming out, not necessarily flying out of the gates, but lead-wise, they've got the early advantage. The Titans not exactly settling for low percentage looks, just nothing's falling. Can't seem to find a groove here to start this one.
Yeah, 3 of 10 for the Lightning, 1 of 10 for KW. It certainly hasn't been a good exhibition of shooting skills, to say the least, but we saw a couple putbacks there for the London Lightning. KW should be taking notes here. That's exactly what they should be doing. This 5-point advantage for London will only grow if they don't start focusing more on the easier selections.
Titans have been struggling. It's been quite a while since they put up triple figures in the game. They've not hit the 100 mark since that February 25th road win in Cape Breton. So just about 25 days since the Titans have found that offensive groove, hitting triple figures. Not necessarily something to be concerned about. They've still been winning games in that stretch, but just kind of speaks to how the offense has been hurt by the transactions that have made, the injuries that have taken place, and of course Ricky Tarrant, when your top scorer is leaving. It certainly takes a toll when it comes to running up that scoreboard.
Absolutely does, and the question then remains, who's going to pick up the offensive gauntlet at this point? And you know, I saw Jason Calise with 21 points, and he's been doing it pretty consistently, but he's not like one of those guys that just takes it upon himself to be a leader of the team. He's one of those guys that'll definitely do his thing, 15 to 20 points a game quietly, but you automatically focus in on the guys like Ed Horton or even a guy like Adam Blazek too. He's been here all season long, plays with a lot of pride.
And if you had to think of 3 candidates that you'd replace Ricky Tarrant with, those would have to be the 3 guys, but none of them really fit that role. They've still been able to get it done a couple of games, and inside there, the nice play, and on the follow-up, scoring. In transition, it's Friesen, gets it to fall. Friesen coming off a strong performance last time these two teams met. 5 for 6 from beyond the arc. 5 3-pointers leading to all 15 points. Calise the drive, they work around. Sutherland, quick 3, and it's well short, out of bounds. But last touched by the Lightning, it was Criswell who got a hand on it, so the Titans will have 1 second to shoot.
And there you saw the other newest addition of the KW Titans a moment ago, Tyrone Dixon, the Humber College grad, and no shot on, no basket, I should say, on that shot.
Whitfield got it off about as quick as he possibly could, but the shot clock with less than a second. It's 10-5 KW, excuse me, London. Greg Morrow checking into the game. Whitfield takes a seat. 6 minutes gone by, just 5 points for the Titans, but fortunately enough, London has not exactly run away with this thing. Just a 5-point game. The drive, the reverse, and the miss that time, as Criswell couldn't get it to drop. The opportunities are there for the Titans.
They have to start taking advantage right here.
Calise wants some movement down low with Blakeney battling in the post. Blakeney, no charge called. Boyd trying to get back up and play defense, and he does just that.
Talk about taking advantage of your opportunities. Blakeney had a golden one there as he put his shoulder into the London defender, who went down flat on his back. Blakeney still couldn't get any points there for the Titans.
That time it's Junior Cadogan who stepped out of bounds, the Toronto native, with one of the first turnovers of the game for London, just their third. Caliste working on Cadogan now, swings it across. Dixon, left-hand drive up top. Caliste, shot clock down to 10. Caliste wants that screen from Blakeney. He gets it, dishes out. Sutherland has it go off his fingertips, still in play. Back to Caliste, only 4 on the shot clock. Broken possession. Caliste has to put up a desperation, didn't even get to the rim. It's a solid closeout defense that time from the Lightning. Boyd in transition.
A bit of a push there from Boyd.
Called for the charge.
As Tremar was catching up to him, played some one-on-one, and Boyd quickly put the arm out and shoved him aside. And the crew chief, Ross Isley, there, making the call almost immediately. Officiating crew, Ross Isley, the crew chief, and Tony Turnbull, Farnoot Kazimzadi as well.
Tyrone Dixon responds, puts up the triple, makes it just a 2-point game. The Titans with 8 points in about 9.5 minutes of work. Normally shake your head at that, but only a 2-point game still. Friesen over to Boyd. He tries his luck from 3 and knocks it down.
Nice response there after the foul call. Boyd coming right back with 3 points for London.
Caliste tries to float inside. Blakeney got tangled up and a foul going to be called. Looks like it's going to go on Joel Friesen, and it will.
Mentioned off the hop how London holds a 4-1 edge in the season matchup with the Titans. Should note that the lone win for the Titans was here at the Odd, an overtime victory earlier on in the season.
Win today for London clinches the season series. If the Titans happen to win out, then they tie it at 4, but that time Morrow called for the travel. It's the 5th turnover of the quarter.
For Greg Morrow, been a bit of a struggle offensively since his 14-point effort 5 games ago.
That time Boyd gets it to roll, plus the harm, and a 3. No, offensive foul. Pardon me there. Boyd called for the offensive foul. It's the 5th team foul of the first quarter for the Lightning, and
that's going to send him to the bench with the 2 personals already.
Great news though, Royce White checking back in.
Isn't it so nice to have that luxury if you're head coach Kyle Julius?
One of the deepest NBL candidate teams that I can recall. Blakeney, pass inside. No, that's Dixon fighting through and gets it to drop.
Yeah, Blakeney with the offensive board there, just towing the baseline. Does an even better job to find his teammate, the trailer in stride for the lay-in for 2.
Friesen, that entry pass to White, up top, catch and shoot, and knocking it down was Criswell from 3, and London stretches that lead back to 6 points.
All of a sudden, they're starting to heat up just a little bit here.
Horton, Dixon, contested 3, no good.
KW can ill afford to start settling here on their shots.
Work the perimeter. Outside, Criswell coming off that made 3, dishes down low to White. Criswell against Dixon. Back to White. 5 on the shot clock. Criswell, another 3, but can't get that one to drop.
You're looking for Cadogan down low there, but Caliste did a good job on the cut to guard him, and the setup for the 3. Missed shot results here in a bit of transition play, and KW able to capitalize.
What a shot from Tyrone Dixon, falling away from the basket, just kind of flipped it up with that right hand, and he'll get it to drop. Nice play from Dixon, chance for the 3-point play to make it a 1-possession game now. But first, as Kyle Julius wants to talk things over with his squad. 43 seconds to go in the first. Just when it seems like KW gets a bit of momentum, London, of course, remembers who they are with a quick shot or score of their own to respond. But it appears when this quarter is all said and done, the Titans are still going to miraculously be in this one despite a very slow start.
It always seems to be the case that it doesn't matter how far they're down. We saw a 19-point lead at one point last Sunday against Niagara, and they were back within 2 at one point in the third quarter and in the fourth as well, as if I recall correctly. So it's a nitty-gritty squad, this KW Titans team, but more often than not, the hole is just too big to climb out of, and that's one of the reasons why they sit at an 11 and 15 mark on the season.
Of course, 2 other games in the National Basketball League of Canada on this Sunday afternoon. Halifax in Charlottetown taking on the Island Storm. It's 61-50 for the squad from PEI. The third quarter, meanwhile, Cape Breton making the trip down the Trans-Canada Highway to take on the Miracles at 49-73. The Highlanders trail on that one. Moncton a big up 24. Both teams who are going to be struggling at the bottom of that Atlantic Division. A bit of a different story here in the Central, where it's London way, way up at the top with that 22-4 record, first overall. And barring a miracle, they are set to run away with it. Everything else from here down is just a logjam, and talking about who wants it more in these next month and a half to try and claim that final home court advantage first round playoff berth. Johnson pulls up, can't get it to drop. Falling out of bounds that time was Sutherland, able to get the pass away there.
And Sutherland just waving at Cavell Johnson to look back over their shoulder to see if Shamar was all right. He said, no, just keep playing, I'm all right.
Off the miss, there's 10 on the clock. Shot clock is off, so the Titans will have the last possession. Dixon gonna take an early 3 though, and air balls. Not the kind of shots that you like if you're on the Titans bench. London will have a quick second and a half. White gonna put it up. 16-12, London with the lead after 12 minutes, and what we wouldn't necessarily call a defensive affair. It's a bit of miscues on both sides, and the Titans taking nearly 7 minutes to score their first bucket. They started to get themselves into a bit of a rhythm though, but that number is going to be tough to look at for the entire game. 5 for 21 from the field to start things off. And it just seems to be a matter of who's going to step up off the bench and get them within striking distance.
Absolutely, they have to find some sort of formula to do the KW Titans, and just haven't had anything going down low on the Lightning. But you know, that's a recurring theme for any team that faces that tandem. And we talk about the rotation and depth that the Lightning have at that center and power forward spot. It's a tough wall to break through, but Titans, if they're going to have any success, they're going to have to keep trying here, because settling on long-range shots, more often than not, is not going to lead to success against such a quality opponent.
Talking about quality opponents, the London Lightning, as much as we like to talk about them, they seem to be a model franchise, especially this year. Number 1 in many categories: assists, 3-pointers, scoring per game, steals per game, rebounds, assist-to-turnover ratio, turnover margin.
Not to mention that 14-game win streak at that point in the season. It's hard to say really where, because I guess you could qualify it as the midway point in the season, but 14 straight, they lose one, not another 4 straight wins for London, who just keep on finding ways to win ball games. Very impressive.
In the midst of that streak, of course, the 14-game win streak, now it's reached the point where they've won 18 of their last 19 games, an opportunity to make it 19 of 20 today. Officially clinched the season series against the expansion KW Titans.
And as much as we talk about the new faces more recently with the Titans, a familiar face, one of the inaugural players, Cavell Johnson, back in the lineup the last 2 games after missing some time, having to head back home to take care of some family matters. To get into many details, but certainly glad to be back with the team, as they are very happy to have his presence back. Certainly a leader on and off the floor.
It looks like it was Phillips who dragged that pivot foot in the paint. That'll lead to a KW ball. It's certainly nice to see a veteran like Johnson back in the lineup, especially at a point where so many changes being made to the roster. Good to have a backbone like him, especially in the locker room. And on the floor here to start this second quarter, 10 on the shot clock. It's Caliste to Whitfield, almost had it swiped. Whitfield drives into the corner. Sutherland three, but can't get it to drop. Whitfield fighting for the rebound and puts it home. Leonard Whitfield, good relentlessness on the glass and makes it a 2-point game.
Yeah, certainly some good stick-to-itiveness, if you will, down low with him. Able to find a loose ball on the rebound and put it back for two for the Titans.
Friesen tries his luck for three and knocks it down. We mentioned he has been scorching hot from beyond the arc, 4 for 7 last night in that win in Orangeville, 18 points with quite a few coming via the three ball, and then 15 points in that last game against the Titans. All of them coming via the deep one. 15 points on 5 3-pointers.
Odell Cost had a great write-up on Joel Friesen recently in the Free Press, just talking about how when they obtained him from the Halifax Hurricane, they're really certainly high on him, and you can see why. They throw him in any sort of situations, whether that's having him play some solid D or having him play some tough minutes under the basket, just providing that presence down low. He does it all, and then we see there with his shooting ability too.
Johnson responds though, knocking down the three, back to a 2-point game again. Cadogan finds Friesen. White over to Johnson, and Johnson trying to work his way in. The floater off the mark, and there's Caliste for the board. A chance for the Titans to tie or take the lead on this possession. Caliste had it swiped away, but it will stay KW basketball. Anthony Criswell, Doug Herring Jr., and Ryan Anderson all back in for London. Meanwhile, Paul Cooper checking in for Cavell Johnson.
Cadogan a bit frustrated heading back to the bench, missed some time. I believe he missed last game as well due to an ankle injury.
Whitfield working against Criswell. The drive, kicking it all the way up top and into the first row. Gotta like the idea that time from Whitfield to try and get the defense to collapse, but it's a risky pass and put a lot of steam on that one.
Certainly a hot pass to handle there for Whitfield, who did it once before already, was successful with it. As he found Dixon. Nobody home that time though.
Turnover number 6, Anderson deep off the mark.
We've mentioned his name more than a few times in these matches. Anderson has the ability to get hot very quick, very streaky shooter.
Horton off the miss, but an over the back foul gonna go on Friesen. It's actually Ryan Anderson called for the over the back. 9:20 to go in the first half. Settling the inbound. Cooper up top to Jason Caliste. He's watched by Ryan Anderson, and another foul. That one's going to go offensively. I believe it's Paul Cooper.
Another brain cramp there that'll be a head scratcher for Serge Langus as he walks away. A bit of frustration showing on his face here. His team not getting into a rhythm as of yet. We're almost midway through the second quarter.
And then an offensive foul called the other way, and it looks like it's going to go on Friesen.
Now, head coach Kyle Julie is looking for answers. So both bench bosses experiencing a bit of a frustrating start to their afternoon. Granted, you know, London is coming off a night game as well, but still, as head coaches will say, no excuses, right?
Garrett Williamson going to check back in after the offensive foul. Nice drive. Horton gets that finger roll to drop, and we're all tied up at 21. Herring the drive. He's watched by Horton. Herring, the left-hand dribble, tries to cut through. Horton going to get called for the reach-in foul.
Horton pleading his case, thinking he was caught up in an illegal screen before he got around it, and then tried to tip the ball away from behind. Caught a piece of the arm of the Lightning player there and garnered the foul call. Should thank everyone tuning in this afternoon live on YouTube. Dan Paulsch alongside Ian Jodry, and Continue sending your comments, thoughts, and questions regarding this afternoon's ball game our way. Love to engage with as many folks as we can throughout today's broadcast.
White off the miss. Chance for pitcher to take the lead, but Jason Cleese called for the double dribble, and it's very rare that you see a game tied against the top team in the league when you say things aren't going their way, but it seems to be the case for both teams at several points so far. Criswell, the pump fake, the drive, right hand, and the block that time from Cooper. Horton in transition into the corner, Sutherland, and another turnover. Errant passes in this second quarter have cost the Titans.
And that pass was nowhere close to Chamar. Granted, Sutherland wasn't in a good spot to receive it. I think he had a foot fully out of bounds as well in the far corner. Either way, KW, as we said time and again, very fortunate to be tied right now with the first place London Lightning, who've gotten off to a bit of a slow start themselves.
And with 8:08 to go in the second quarter, Coach Langus wants to talk things over with his squad. This game tied at 21 so far. The Lightning shooting 36 from the field, 35%. KW just 33. They've tried 12 three-pointers. They've only knocked down 3 of them, and they've won the battle on the glass significantly with 6 offensive rebounds compared to London's 1. But the second chance points have led to 6, and that's one of the few things that have kept them in it, because careless turnovers, simply throwing easy passes away, have started to hurt the Titans, especially in this quarter here.
And aside from all the action on the court, all the breakdown there, we should mention off the court, the Titans producing a bit of a jersey auction here with the camouflage jerseys that they're wearing. They wore them for the first time last week as they commemorated the 100th anniversary of the Battle of Vimy Ridge. They're wearing them this afternoon once more, but if you want to own your own game-worn jersey, hop on kwtitans.com/jersey-auctions and place a bid for your chance to potentially own your very own Titans jersey. London fans obviously won't care all too much, but for all those Titans fans tuning in, make sure to hop online.
They're pretty sharp, I must say.
Well, Adam and I were discussing it last week, even for ownership to put that commitment into producing something like this and have an alternative jersey. You don't always see that with NBL Canada squads.
No, absolutely not.
It's quite the investment as well.
Doug Herring Jr. back into the game. Horton a little over aggressive on the full court press. Horton, third foul of the game, comes in the first half. That'll do it for him. Cleese thought he was getting a break, but Cleese is actually going to stay on the floor. Adam Wing back in along with Adam Blazik. Anderson, the drive, swings it inside, pretty passing, but Williamson just off the mark on the reverse.
That's so tough to do. He was going full steam ahead baseline, and the fact that he had it as close as he did to put it back for 2, that was impressive in itself.
Blazik, quick 3 in and out. Herring there for the board. 7.5 to go. Each team with 21 points aside. And the block that time from Whitfield on Williamson. Wing trying to get the ball back. Blazik gets to it. 2-on-1. They've got numbers. Wing on the finish. And there's Williamson. The one-hand block the other way. White coming back. And that pass deflected. Anderson trying to get to it. And he didn't. And it'll be Titans ball when the fast-paced sequence comes to an end. It'll still be tied. Once again, Kitchener-Waterloo a chance to take the lead on this possession here.
That'll be the first time we get a chance to potentially see that for this afternoon's ball game.
They have not led yet. Kalist over to Blazik. Right-hand dribble, cuts through, finds the seam, and gets it to drop. 23-21. The Titans with their first lead of the ball game.
There you saw a bit of a delay from Blazek, stutter step as he cut through the lane and allowed to garner some space in between him and the defender who were collapsing in on him.
Herring, the off-balance shot, he got bumped, and 2 free throws coming up as Adam Blazek picks up his first foul of the afternoon.
Blazik, averaging double digits in 6 of his last 7 games, coming off an 11-point effort against Orangeville. All right, getting burned on the foul call there. Heads over for an explanation.
Herring was a later acquisition this season. Was not on the Lightning opening day roster, but has fit in quite well in their variety of scoring. Drops in,
leading the team into assists and steals.
1-point game as Doug Herring Jr. goes 1 for 2 from the line.
And Commissioner Magley apparently is in the house.
Very great to have him around. Khalees the drive, and a blocking foul going to call on Royce White, and like a deer in the headlights took a look at Kyle Julius and what? But it was Khalees going up hard, and White gets called for his second of the day and get him in foul trouble. That's big news for the Titans.
Jason Khalees certainly has his free throw set up.
Behind the back.
Around the waist 3 times. Top of players getting into their routines. He's got an elaborate one.
It goes 1 for 2 at the stripe that time.
As long as it turns into points, right?
Gets that Titans lead back up to 2 as George Blakeney also going to come back in for the Titans. Criswell. Anderson watched by wing. Anderson blows by him inside to White. In the post, has positioning on Cooper, and he scores. Blazik tried the drop pass right at center court. Not a smart move, and White finishes with the one-hand jam.
Yeah, just sloppy there by Blazik. Try the drop pass, if you will, to use a hockey term. And no one home there to gather it up, and Lightning turned it into points on the turnover.
The foul away from the play. It's Anderson. Number 2 on him. White thought it was him for a second. That would have been number 3.
I'm sure the Titans were hoping it was him as well.
.542 to play in the first half. Blakeney on the inbound, and Anderson hit the floor hard. Wing trying to turn it into points, and hits the 3, and then the other way, Anderson hits the floor again, and he's going after Wing.
Giving him a mouthful.
And finally, a technical going to be called on Anderson. Wing gets the best of both worlds. No foul call. Drills the 3, knocks him down in transition, and then it's Ryan Anderson getting called for the technical foul.
And Wing is going to get the technical as well.
A double technical.
I'm really not sure why Wing would get the technical on that one either.
Very interesting, as Anderson went right up to him after the play. Wing, at least from a visual standpoint, didn't appear to be instigating whatsoever.
You know, they ended up manning up against each other, play some defense, and all Adam Wing really did was clap at him. I really don't get that call.
Interesting to see if Wing would have said anything. It didn't appear so, at least from a visual standpoint. And then off the inbound, a foul going to be called on the Titans. It's going to go on Adam Blazik. Odd sequence. And Ryan Anderson takes to the bench after. Friesen floats it to White, trying to work in the post against Whitfield. White inside, can't get the roll. Follow up, and it was sent flying away from Whitfield, and he is jacked up.
Rightfully so. He's having a heck of a ball game this afternoon. Can't say that about too many Titans, but Whitfield's come to play. One of those lone Titans playing with a lot of energy. Already 7 rebounds to go along with his 5 points.
He did get called for a foul on the play, though, and then a foul called off the ball, an offensive foul that time. Looks like it's going to go on Royce White.
So that will be number 3 for him. And now Kyle Julius is a little frustrated, has to get, his assistant gets up to maybe try and settle him down a little bit.
Brian Anderson already with a technical, and he's talking on the bench too. Royce White, though, gonna stay in the game with his 3rd foul. 5 to play in the half. Calise, the pump fake high off the window, can't get it to roll. Tough break there, as you also had Whitfield trying to fly in for the offensive board. Less than 5 to play in the half. It's a 27-26 Titans lead. No, not the first quarter, first half. 1 point game.
Yeah, if you came looking for offense, you're not going to find it so far.
Whitfield trying to back in on Singleton. Whitfield pump fake, hook shot won't go. No foul called, and he wanted some contact there. No whistle. Friesen to White. Looking to go one-on-one with Blakeney. White off the glass and can't get it to drop. Royce White struggling here today. Trying to work down low. And Blakeney, that's going to be a travel on Blakeney. Put the ball on the floor and picked it up.
Easy call there for the official as Blakeney chuckles laughing to himself running away. It's really all he can do in that situation. But just an unfortunate sequence of events, having a brain cramp in a high percentage shooting area.
Now 4 to go in the half. Herring into the corner. Williamson, quick pass. White, the reverse, and he'll beat you in the post eventually if you keep giving him those chances.
Textbook right there, textbook.
I'll start with that positioning. If he has to back in, at least you give yourself a chance to not give him that space. But if he catches the pass and he's already right in that restricted area, Williamson converts in transition. It's a 30-27 London lead with 3.5 to play in the half. Jason Caliste across the timeline. He's watched by Herring.
Foul off the ball.
That's on White. Royce White, 4 fouls.
Wow. And he's shaking his head in disbelief. He might have a case there too. Number 3, I saw is pretty legit, but number 4, that's a bit of a head scratcher.
That it doesn't appear that one did go on White. It might have actually been on.
Well, he's hanging around by the bench here, so I don't know why he'd be going off otherwise.
It's actually on Garrett Williamson. He gets called for his 2nd. But regardless, Royce White is on the bench, which is always good news if you're the Titans. He'll start the second half or potentially come on for the end of the first with 3 fouls already to his name. Williamson cutting through the paint and a block by Whitfield. Soaring over Williamson. Back come the Titans with numbers. Caliste, wing, Blazik, 3-ball, bang, Adam Wing makes him pay the other way. Titans up 2.
Block one way, trifecta the other, and KW now with their first lead of the ball game.
Friesen for 3. The response. Straight out of Alberta, and then a
collision baseline.
Coming out of that pile was Marvin Singleton. He was tied up with Whitfield. No fouls called, however.
Not exactly sure how that developed there, but no one coming away nicked or bruised on that one.
Wing, he's watched by Garrett Williamson. Over to Caliste. Shot clock down to 5. Caliste against Williamson. The pump fake, then throws it up, and he's going to head to the line for 3 free throws. Joel Friesen not happy with the call, as he's charged with number 3 on the afternoon as well.
And you know what? Smart play by Caliste there. He identified how tight Friesen was playing with him defensively, and a lot of traffic in the vicinity, so use the shiftiness and maybe you know, played into it a little bit with the shot, but hey, give him credit. Taking advantage of it.
So Calise heads to the line for 3 free throws, but that means about 12 behind the waists.
We might be here for a bit.
Connects on number 1. Calise in his 11 games played with the Titans, a 77% free throw shooter. Drops number 1 to tie the game at 33.
And you notice too, he's about a half step, or half a foot even, away from the free throw line too. Not too often you see that from pro players.
Stands a little bit farther back, you're right. Foul appeared to be called on Calise right off the inbounds, and he didn't appear to be near anyone.
And now with the bonus situation, that's going to come into play.
Both teams in the penalty for the rest of the half. Herring drops in number 1. He's earned his trips to the free throw line today. It's his 3rd. We mentioned coming off performance where he dropped in 10 of his 14 two-point field goals last night, Herring, and also finished an assist shy of a double-double. Whitfield gonna check out. It's Tyrone Dixon back in. Wing, and hitting the floor on the offensive foul. Wing called for the charge. Julian Boyd stood his ground.
Again, another undisciplined play. Tail of tape though, with these turnovers, both teams, well, that's KW's actually 11th turnover of the game to London's 10, but KW actually has held the edge in that respect. 13 points off those 10 turnovers. This be a different storyline in this ball game had London scored more than 4 off of their turnover, or off of KW turnovers.
Herring watched very tightly by Dixon. Off the trap, Blazek trying to get a hand on it. Now a chance for an easy score, and it's Dixon gonna get called for the foul on Boyd. He'll be rewarded with 2 free throws, but Dixon not happy with the call. Still good defense to not allow the easy layup.
They're gonna say he held up London's Boyd as he went up. I think he got a piece of that right arm. Coach Langus was incredulous with that call, but from this vantage point, it did look like he got a piece of Boyd going up.
It was a whistle before Boyd took that first free throw and then sprinted in the other direction. Having a discussion with the official.
Not sure what that one's all about either. A lot of question marks left to be answered in this one.
Boyd 75% at the line. Regardless, rattles in the official first free throw. Two for 2. London back up 3. Calise, a nice crossover to get across half. Dixon pass down low. Johnson up top. A pump fake from Calise with 8 on the shot clock. Tries to get the screen from Dixon into the corner. Johnson, 3 ball, won't go. It's Kyle Johnson there for the board in transition. Herring tries to create space inside. Singleton, the miss.
And a block from Johnson. I think he got a piece of it.
Back the other way come the Titans in transition. Tremar Sutherland gets tangled up on his way up. Julian Boyd.
And Boyd knew it right away. Patting himself on the chest. And for Boyd, that's number 3.
That's 4 of them. That's Ryan Anderson, Joel Fries, and Julian Boyd, and Rice White, all with 3 fouls. 4 of London's top scorers.
So let's see how much of a factor that plays going into the second half. But we know the pedigree of Kyle Julie is such the tactician rather. He knows how to strategize with his guys if they are in foul trouble. You can talk about the rotation that they have. An assortment of riches coming off the bench.
Marvin Phillips, a former NBL Canada All-Star Game MVP, and not to mention a former champion with the Lightning, coming in off the bench in a game that he's almost been a non-factor. Hard enough to believe. Have that luxury. 2-point London edge. Just over a minute to go in the opening half. It's Herring to Phillips, pump fake, and works it down low. Singleton trying to work on Sutherland.
Another block from Johnson.
Johnson the block. Blazik picks up the loose ball, tries to go all the way coast to coast, but rims out. Can't get it to drop.
Gotta finish those.
Kyle Johnson floats it up. Williamson can't go for the alley-oop. It's poked loose, and it will remain London basketball.
Threw it up to go get it, but Garrett Williamson just couldn't climb the ladder high enough to settle it down to put it back for London as he inbounds the ball now.
Herring working against Sutherland in the post. Herring, nice move in the paint, but can't get it to drop. Johnson the second try, and he'll get fouled.
He was stripped as he went up, and that's going to be Jamar Sutherland, charged with the second personal.
Kyle Johnson shoots 2.
Johnson dropping in number 1 this season. He's averaging about 14 points a game and 74% free throw shooter at that. Drops in both that time, and then it's Coach Langus want to talk things over, calling the timeout. 35.4 seconds to go in the opening half, and it's the Lightning up 4 and what seems like more of a early second quarter score. Talk about none of these teams found the groove out of the gates, but
certainly didn't. 16-12 Lightning after the opening 12 minutes of play. 23-21, edge and scoring for the Titans to get them back within 4. But neither team really having a sustained run here.
And no one really seems to be taking over for either team. White, the only player in double figures with 12, but he's been a bit of a non-factor with so much time on the bench and that foul trouble. And then for KW, it's been pretty distributed. I mean, they've got Dixon with 9, Blazik has 7, and then no one else has more than 5 down the rest of the score sheet.
And that's what I was talking about before, is KW, they'll get a handful of players in double digits, but it's not in those times when they need it the most, really. It's a lot of times it's in that garbage time or when they don't have those sustained runs going, when they need to overtake teams. Who's that going to be that guy that steps up here and takes control of this or KW offense is the question that remains. Even the guy like I was talking already about off the top at Horton, just the 4 points this afternoon. Jason Calise had 21 in the Titans' last game, only 3.
So an 11.4 differential game clock, shot clock, Blazik the 3. I was just gonna say the Titans can maybe go 2 for 1. They just fall short, but they'll take it. Only down 1 now. London can hold for the final shot of the first half. Clock winding down from 10 seconds and counting. Herring, he's against Caliste. Over to Williamson. Williamson, shot in the paint, won't go. Loose ball, and it's Singleton right before the clock expires for the first half. Gives London that 41-38 lead.
KW just not not boxing out there as the buzzer sounded, and it turns into 2 London Lightning points, and now they find themselves up by 3 going into halftime.
And more importantly, the Titans only find themselves down by 3 with the way they played to start that first quarter. They'll take a 3-point game here at the Yacht in the second half, coming your way in just under 15 minutes. rocky start for the Titans, but let's see if it can be more of a smooth finish. They trail by 3 with 24 minutes of play. Second half about to get underway. Ian Jodry, Dan Paulchuk here with you at the Odd for this Sunday afternoon edition of the National Basketball League of Canada. The London Lightning, winners of 18 of their last 19, leading the season series against Kitchener-Waterloo 4-1. The Titans looking to put a halt to what is a current 3-game losing skid and get themselves back on track here and get themselves into third in that Central Division. Right now, they would have to play London, with the Lightning having home court advantage if the playoffs started today.
And there's a guy we haven't seen all too much in that first half, Paul Cooper, starting off this second, and right away garnering the foul call.
Staying Titans ball on a fresh 24 on the shot clock as inbounds finds Cooper. They work it around. Blazik to wing. Gets the screen from Whitfield inside. Cooper going to try to go to work in the post, but kicks it back out to Blazik. Still 10 on the shot clock. Running out of options. Horton, Whitfield, 5 on the shot clock. Whitfield trying to take it himself. Wing, corner 3, in and out.
You're just watching this battle inside between White, absolutely dominating Cooper right now. That's why there's nothing aside from the perimeter passing for the Titans. Missed shot and points the other way as London takes advantage.
And Phillips, the spin move in the paint, hits around Whitfield in cruise control mode, all too easy. It's a 5-point Lightning lead. Whitfield trying to respond against Phillips. He scores on the baseline drive, back to a 3-point game.
Yeah, some good quick footwork there by Whitfield. Ended the first half with 9 rebounds to his name, closing in on a double-double.
Anderson now against Wing, picked up 3 fouls in that first half. Wing turn around over, Anderson knocks it down over Wing. Those two got tied up in that first half. They issued double technicals, and it was an exciting sequence of events, to say the least.
Nothing's come of it, though. Sometimes you don't see players just let it go. Seems like they have, though.
Whitfield for 3, way off the mark, into the hands of Anderson.
Missed everything there.
Barron calls for pick and roll from Phillips up top. Instead, it's Williamson comes out to get the pass. He's watched by Adam Blazik, dishes off Ryan Anderson, 5 on the shot clock. Anderson gets the screen from Phillips, trying to cut between, lost the basketball, and in the hands of Wing to force the turnover.
A good defense there by the Titans, forcing him to the middle, but everyone just closing in.
Wing, the behind the back dribble and the right hand finish, and
strong take there by number 15.
Anderson walked into the baseline, and Cooper
get the foul call that one?
Doesn't appear so. Looks like Cooper almost just took it out of his hands and walked out of bounds. Still 18 on the shot clock in Lightning basketball. No foul call. White pass inside, catch and shoot from Anderson, no good. Phillips the rebound, and on the third attempt, foul will be called. It looks like it was Anderson who drew it.
I think it just speaks to, sorry to cut you off there, but speaking of Royce Weiss's skill set, it's not too often you see a clear out up top to a big man like him, but he's such good touch with distributing the basketball and lob that pass inside, and as a result, we see a foul and a couple of free throws.
Marvin Phillips, good on number 1. First trip to the line this evening, rather quiet at 13 points last game. Knocks down both there and gets that London lead up to 5. Wing against Anderson, pass to Cooper. He's in the post against Royce White. Cooper, turnaround shot. He'll get it to drop. Friendly bounce for Paul Cooper, and KW once again within 3 points. Herring, he draws a crowd of camo jerseys. Williamson pass, and Forces the turnover. Horton the other way has Whitfield for the one-hand explosive throwdown. Flynard Whitfield, and it's a 1-point game.
Previous to that, you saw a good switch. Blazek taking White as he was cutting down low. He was the initial option. They let Williamson stay wide open, and if you're going to choose one player to leave open, I think in that instance you want to leave Williamson, and it resulted in turnover. But there you see Williamson taking it to the rack for 2.
Makes up for it the other way. 49-46. London back up 3. Corner jumper, and the baseline J is good from Ed Horton.
Off balance as well.
Picked his spot and saw that there was no coverage, and the offensive foul going to go on Garrett Williamson. That's number 4 on Williamson.
Back and forth start to the second half for him, and he's going to head off by the looks of it, and checking back in for London, it'll be Friesen, yes.
Also playing with 3 fouls, so starting to run out of room in that sense. 4 fouls on Williamson, and then White, Friesen, Boyd, and Anderson all have 3 of their own. Only 4 minutes into this first half. Herring almost intercepted the pass, but Blazek able to get lucky there. It'll remain Titans basketball, 12 on the shot clock. Horton inbound, feeds into Whitfield. Horton. Now 5 to shoot, gets the screen from Cooper, had positioning down low. Horton jacks up the 3, but off the mark. Anderson tries to cross over wing, gets the screen from White, trying to drive around him. Anderson throws it up, count it, and the foul. And Adam Wing, another guy with
personal there for Wing.
4 for Wing and 3 for Horton. Besides that, relatively clean game from the Titans foul-wise. London's in much more of a pickle with 4 of their top scorers with 3, and then of course Williamson leaving the game with 4. 52-48, and then a foul called on Herring. It was Wing who was trying to back in and get position in the post. Not a typical spot that you see Wing trying to go to work. Don't know if Coach Lang has liked it though, because he still pulled Wing off despite drawing the foul. Jamar Sutherland into the game off the inbound. Blazek 3, no good. Had his man beat as Friesen appeared to slip, trying to get back and close out defensively.
Blazek got 2 for 6 from beyond the arc.
White tosses the body, but then it's Cooper with the rejection.
On Royce White as that matchup continues. Now White the other way.
White and the lay-in. Gets blocked, and it forces the turnover and the score.
That was fortuitous for him.
London back up 6. About 5 minutes in the second half. White overwhelming on defense, and he's going to pick up foul number 4.
And Horton yet to get up. I think he got a hand to the eye.
It looks like he took one up high, you're right.
Subs in for London, Kyle Johnson and Julian Boyd.
So secondary unit coming in with Boyd and Johnson, White and Anderson out.
And White just walking up, staring down the official, Tony Turnbull.
So Horton off the inbound, back to a 6-point London lead. Throws all the way across Whitfield, almost lost it, and he will. It'll go out of bounds. Turnover number 13 of the game for the Titans. Boyd for 3. Front rim, Phillips, second chance. And a fresh 24, Friesen, the pump fake. Left-hand dribble. Boyd, baseline J, also no good. And Cooper, 2 hands for the rebound.
Second chance points. Neither team have really been capitalizing. London had an opportunity there, but missing both.
Cooper, turn around in the paint, can't get the shot to go. Loose ball on the floor. Boyd gets to it, ahead to Johnson, trying to blow by the defender, go coast to coast, simply lost it. But Boyd there to follow up. And Lightning have their biggest lead of the game. It's 56-48. Whitfield. Into the corner, Sutherland, the drive. Good defense there. Sutherland has to throw up a second opportunity. First one never hit the rim. Back come the Lightning the other way. They're up 8, trying to push the lead to double digits for the first time on this Sunday afternoon. Johnson, Phillips for 3. Won't go. And Whitfield there for the board.
Whitfield just really been flying all over the place this afternoon.
Been impressive. 9 points, 9 rebounds. A point and a board shy of a double-double. Blazek in the corner for Horton, trying to work it inside to that big man. Whitfield, Sutherland catch and shoot 3, but off the mark. Had all kinds of room. It appeared Boyd had slipped back, trying to close out on defense. But regardless, a rough start to the second half for KW. 10 points in the first 7 minutes. London has capitalized and taken an 8-point lead. Johnson trying to push off Sutherland. Phillips, pump fake, drive. And he draws the foul. It looks like it'll be Tremar Sutherland picking up his 3rd.
Tremar Sutherland called for the foul on his 3rd personal.
And I think we're going to have Paul Cooper checking out and Blakeney coming in for him. So we'll see whether that results in anything different here for the Titans. Now down by 8 going into the TV timeout.
It's almost like watching the start of that first quarter again, where both teams came out almost on the same level to start the half, and then London starts to find the groove and gives themselves a small lead. Certainly not unsurmountable if you're the Titans, but you certainly can't wait around too long before a team like the Lightning start to go off offensively.
Well, exactly. It's only really, like you said, a matter of time. Teams as talented as London, it might take them a little while to warm up, especially coming off that night game just a day ago. So when you have 2 games in less than 24 hours, just takes a bit more time to shake the rust off and get focused mentally as well as just even from the physical perspective, draining shots.
56-48 with 4:44 to play in the 3rd quarter. Once again, Ian Jodry and Dan Polishuk here with you on this Sunday afternoon here at the Kitchener Memorial Auditorium. Titans trying to snap that 3-game losing streak. They're playing their 3rd game in the last 4 days. Prior to that was a 3-game winning streak. The Titans this year 6-5 here on their home court. London 11-3 on the road. They've only lost 1 contest all year at Budweiser Gardens.
Definitely an impressive run for London this year. KW had a chance to get back to 500 for the first time since January the 8th last Sunday, and they fell to the River Lions. Last place River Lions too, under a new head coach. This will be Marlon Phillips at the line. Jacksonville native. Jacksonville, North Carolina, that is.
Knocks down the 2nd. After this, KW back on the road. They've got a few days off before they head down to St. Catharines, take on those last place River Lions, who are slowly starting to creep up. Just like Joel Friesen is starting to creep up out of half court and score in transition.
Bad pass there by Khalees, trying to get it over to Blazek, and didn't really sell the fake first.
12-point London lead once again, adding to their biggest of the afternoon. Blazek driving against Friesen, trying to pump fake out to Khalees. He tries a 3, but can't get it to go. But long rebound in the hands of Tremar Sutherland. Blazek thought about it, but a fresh 24. They're going to slow things down. Blazek, the drive, left-hand finish. Nice job attacking the rim by Adam Blazek. Cuts that lead back down to 10 points.
Solid work as he slashed down low and able to work his southpaw advantage.
Criswell over to Friesen, watched by Blazek. Drops off to Boyd. 5 on the shot clock. Johnson puts up a contested shot and drops it in.
×2. He had 2 hands in his face there on that jumper, just beyond the free throw line, and drains it.
Now back on defense, he's on Adam Blazik, gets the screen from Dixon. Blazik tries a three, can't get it to go. Long rebound right back to him. Kalist, the pump fake. Dixon wide open for three and also can't get it to drop.
You know what, London's gonna be content to let them shoot because, you know what, quite frankly, they're not hitting them. Why not?
6 for 25 from beyond the arc here today.
Way too many.
Not been able to find that touch yet. Friesen, a rare miss from beyond the arc. The Titans will take that the other way with Kalist against Boyd. Thought about it, the pump fake and draws inside. Dixon, the baseline drive, puts it up, count it, and the foul. Tyrone Dixon a chance to make it a single possession, a single digit game, excuse me.
The rookie making a nice play there, down low, trying to make something happen and puts it off the window for two. Now a chance for a three-point play.
Foul away number 22, Anthony Criswell. That is his second. Team's
Criswell, foul number 2. Mentioned both Royce White, Garrett Williamson playing with 4 fouls. Friesen, Boyd, Anderson.
More reason to take it right to the rack. Take it right at him.
No need to be settling for these contested threes.
The more you do, the longer they stay in the ball game, quite frankly, or the odds are. And you're absolutely right with your hand motion there. Travel against the London Lightning.
Friesen walked, he gathered his steps and took one too many, trying to lay one in. Such as KW's biggest lead has only been 2 points. They've been right there all game long. The biggest lead for London has only been 12.
Hey, you know what? Credit Jason Kalist there. He's just so cool and calm. Nothing really seems to faze the guy. He's falling baseline and he has enough fortitude to just bounce it off. And you see it more than often. But the fact that he had 3 yellow jerseys around him and he still thought enough just to bank it off on those legs, and now you see a result in KW points on the ensuing possession.
Morrow doing just what you said, Dan, taking it right to the rack. And then in the other way, it looks like Dixon got a hand on it. Singleton with the drive, the pass, and Criswell fouled. 2 free throws upcoming.
I think we saw 2 blocks, even a block on Singleton there. The first time he went up. Again, KW just not boxing out, and results now in a pair of free throw attempts.
Phillips also going to come back in for Boyd. Criswell knocks down number 1. Criswell on the year, shooting about 70% from the stripe. Good on the second. .154 to go. It's Blakeney, Morrow, Sutherland, and Kalist on the floor with Dixon. Off the miss. And it's going to stay London. Actually, Titans ball, yes. It appeared that it was last touch there.
I think Singleton stepped out of bounds as he tipped it.
And a new shot clock as well as they work it up top. Morrow against Johnson gets the screen from Blakeney. Morrow shot in close, won't go. Third opportunity. And that time is out of bounds. Another Titans ball. That time was Johnson appeared to step out of bounds. Not happy with the call. Minute and a half to go in the third quarter. Sutherland against Johnson, trying to cross him over in the corner. Up top, Morrow has to reset with Sutherland. Shot clock down at 8. Sutherland, Dixon to 3. Won't go. A long rebound though, fought for in the corner. And it ends up coming back down to the Titans. Sutherland leaves it for Morrow. He also can't finish. He was blocked. Third try, no good. And finally, the Lightning come away with the basketball. Boyd in transition will slow things down, but a disappointing trip up the floor that time for KW.
That's putting a Lightning absolutely snake-bitten under the basket. I don't know how many opportunities they had there. Almost 5, and now it looked like he was going to get a friendly roll to Boyd off the 3 attempt.
Boyd almost The chance to make him pay, and then Morrow finishes on the reverse.
They need more of that other bench. Just the 21 points from the reserves, now 23.
38 seconds to go, so about a 1.8 second differential game clock, shot clock. Morrow ran over Friesen, and a technical foul going to be issued there to Morrow.
Technical foul assessed to London Lightning's.
No, that's actually on Joel Friesen. He got ran over by Morrow. There was no call, and then Friesen must have said something, and now Julius is teed up. Julius on the court. Kyle Julius all the way out across the floor. Phillips talking with the official now. We've had 2 technicals called. Julius better watch it. One more and he's gone.
And Coach Langus is saying, is he not out of here? Because, like you said, he was all the way across the floor. Quite frankly, I've never seen that before.
To go all the way out that far and only pick up 1 technical is a blessing, but a blessing for the Lightning too as Kalist misses the technical free throw. So Friesen picks up the initial one as Morrow ran him over at center court. He must have said something that prompted the initial technical foul. Then Julius, not happy, ran out onto the court, gets called for a technical of his own. Kalist makes one of the 2 technical free throws, makes it a 2-possession game. Still KW basketball, and quite surprised that Kyle Julius is still on the London bench after all that.
I'm absolutely shocked at that, but fortunate for the Lightning that their bench boss stays around to navigate them through this last 31.9 of the third quarter in the fourth.
Sutherland over to Morrow. The pass intercepted by Herring the other way, trying to work around Dixon. Herring, Morrow got back and didn't get all ball, so 2 shots coming up for Doug Herring Jr.
With 11.2 seconds left on the clock. Take a look at some of those other out-of-town scores. The Island Storm coming away with the 112-103 victory over the defending champs, Halifax Hurricanes. And Moncton with a 120-95 convincing win over Cape Breton. That was the 5 versus 4 matchup, if you will, in the Atlantic Division. And for Halifax, just their 7th loss of the year.
Halifax picks up the loss. Herring 2 for 2 at the line, back to an 8-point London lead. Shot clock off. KW will have the final shot of the third quarter. Kalist contested, but way off the mark.
He was looking for a foul there, as he did in the first half.
66-58, and we've had a couple fireworks here at the Yacht on this Sunday afternoon. Still, just an 8-point game, and started off slow. This looks more like a halftime score as opposed to heading into the fourth quarter score. The Titans, they will take it. Lightning have come out flat. They've got some of their stars in foul trouble, and it seems just to be all the more reason to attack the rim in this fourth quarter, knowing what's at stake here for these London defenders.
Absolutely, and you talk about defenders. KW Titans, despite really not putting up a ton of points in that third quarter, just 17 in fact. That was just marginally better than their 16 in the opening frame. Did a good job of shutting down Royce White. Just the 14 first half points, 0 in that third. So, but credit the Lightning, they're finding other options here to capitalize.
First and third quarters combined, you're right, just 29 points over 24 minutes for KW. And they've had a strong fourth quarter all year long. That seemed to be one of the themes, whether or not they're getting garbage time points or trying to complete a comeback. It has been their best frame of the year. Very interesting to see if that trend continues and if they get a chance at trying to salvage this season series.
Or even just break this 3-game losing streak. I think that's top of mind for Coach Langus and co. walking down a playoff spot as well. As such a logjam in the Central Division. Windsor, KW, Orangeville, Niagara, even same Niagara, keeping them in the conversation at this point, kind of surprising. Considering how most of their season has gone.
Stands back and makes some noise for the participants from the crowd.
8-point game with 12 minutes to go. Sunday afternoon at the Kitchen Memorial Auditorium. Back onto the floor to start the fourth. It's Greg Morrow, Tyrone Dixon, Jason Caliste, Ed Horton, and George Blakeney. The starting five to come on to start this fourth quarter. Just one of them on the Titans opening day roster. Very renovated look since training camp. Anderson's pass deflected. Blakeney the turnover ahead to Horton. Titans with numbers. Dixon flies in, can't get the roll. Somehow it didn't drop. That would have brought it back to a two-possession game. London trying to capitalize. Herring off balance, won't go.
Phillips is going to get called on the foul.
That's just number one on Phillips. He stayed rather disciplined in a quiet afternoon for him, but a long list of London players in foul trouble. Boyd and Anderson on the court right now, both with 3 fouls.
That one popped up in the air. Officials haven't made a call yet. We're going to get together and talk about it. And
it's going to remain Titans basketball.
Let's keep an eye on Kyle Julius there, seeing how far he'd be sprinting for this call if it didn't go against, or if it did go against him, but keeping his cool. So 18 on the shot clock here for KW.
Caliste up top into the corner for Horton, trying to work down low. Blakeney in the post around Phillips. He'll get it to draw, plus the foul.
That's on Boyd, held up his left arm.
Blakeney looks like he was somehow slipping between there. Didn't seem there was much room to get through, but gets it to drop and a chance for a 3-point play. And after out-muscling him inside, Coach Julius has seen enough. He's going to bring the big man White back onto the floor. Once again, playing with 4 fouls on the afternoon. Blakeney gets that one rolling, completes the 3-point play, and once again that London lead cut back down to 5 points. Anderson catch and shoot 3 and way off the mark. One of those guys who can get hot in a hurry. Very streaky shooter who can put them in from 10, 15 feet off the 3-point line if he gets hot. Luckily for the Titans, though, he has not found any kind of a groove here this afternoon.
Leads the team in 3-pointers, 95 on the season. Coming into today's action, 95 and on 95 for 248.
Blakeney trying to work in the post on White. Blakeney almost lost the basketball. It's on the floor, and a foul going to be called there. Is it on White?
He's certainly wrestling with him there, and he's the one getting helped up.
He is. Royce White only has 1 more foul left in him. And Julian Boyd coming to the rescue, playing with 3 fouls.
So less than a minute, I think, on my count, since White came in.
Horton, Caliste off the inbound, puts it in. Jason Caliste, the catch and shoot jumper, and it's back to a 1-possession game. Lightning trying to pick up the pace. Boyd, Williamson. Works down low to Boyd, replacing White in the game. Out top, Phillips, 3-ball, no good. Blakeney the board, Titans a chance to hold themselves within one or tie the game here on this possession. 66-63. Morrow in the corner against Williamson. Well, now to his right, Morrow. Pass inside, Dixon can't get it to drop.
Nice pass down low, Morrow to Dixon. Caught him in a bad spot though.
And then Anderson got fouled and favoring that right hip there on the sideline.
Bit of a stinger there for him.
Whitfield back in, Dixon out. Herring against Horton. Gets the screen from Phillips. Separation for three and puts it in. Doug Herring Jr. knocks one down from beyond the arc. 69-63, London with the lead. Caliste, the drive, and the offensive foul on Caliste comes up hopping on that left ankle, it appears. He is limping.
Jason Caliste called for the charge. It's his second personal, team's second.
Caliste just dealing with a flat tire over their baseline as there's a stoppage in action. And I'm limping a little bit by the looks of it too. Not a good sign now. Cavell Johnson is going to come in as Caliste is going to stay on and try and play through this.
Caliste is going to stay on. Williamson tries to blow by him in the half court into the corner. Phillips pump fakes and resets up top. Doug Herring Jr. off the made three. Jr. the right-hand drive. Anderson. Watched by Horton with 5 on the shot clock. Anderson trying to cross him over up top. Anderson creates separation, can't get it to go off the glass. And Caliste with the rebound, trying to chug through the pain, and that time draws the foul in transition. It might have been on Anderson. Indeed it did, so that's number 4 on him. Friesen gonna check back in. He's playing with 3, and it's just a shuffle now with London between their guards and their centers of who can come in and fill that spot with Royce White and
spin the wheel.
Ryan Anderson, both in foul trouble.
That was an easy call for trailing official Ross Isley to make. Caliste having his dribble hand hooked onto.
Johnson for 3. Gets it to go. Cavell Johnson. It's a 3-point game.
And for Cavell Johnson, just his 4th 3-ball this season.
It's the closest they've been this half. Boyd drives, throws it up, can't get it to roll, and Whitfield the other way. Horton drops it, Caliste for the tie. Won't go. Maybe a bit rushed. 69-66, London with the lead, pass inside, great find to Boyd. The teardrop pass from Friesen, give him the assist.
You know, did well to receive that pass and then set his feet to go up strong.
Morrow, the dribble with the right hand, the floater, and he'll get fouled.
That time I think it was Herring Jr.
Marvin Phillips called for his second.
Phillips, check that.
Subs in on
And Criswell will check back in to replace Williamson.
Williamson, another guy playing with 4 fouls. Actually, it's going to be Phillips checking out. Williamson staying in the game with 4.
Heading back this way, it looked like for a second he was going to be taking a breather, but with 8:06 to go, stays in the ball game. Morrow making his first. Morrow, second misses the mark though. Morrow 1 for 2 from the stripe.
Shot about that this year, just around 50%. 4-point game. Williamson, the drive, draws the foul. Yes. Continuation was there, so count it, plus the foul. Williamson, a chance for a 3-point play. The officials had to signal to each other whether or not he is going to be going for a 3-point possibility. Indeed, Garrett Williamson, chance to stretch this lead back to 7 points for London. inside the 8-minute mark. It's 74-67 for the Red Hot London Lightning. Mentioned several times coming into tonight, winning 18 of their last 19. Blazik contested 3 in the corner, no good.
That's a tough shot for Blazik there. Corner 3 and a hand in the face.
Williamson watched tightly by Cavell Johnson. Williamson wants some traffic down low. Drops it off. Boyd the 3, way off the mark. Horton gets to it, and Whitfield found a seam in behind the defense, but Herring Jr. gets to the loose basketball.
Some undisciplined play here in the fourth quarter.
Herring the drive and the travel. No, the offensive foul.
And London players just visibly frustrated on that call. It's opportunity after opportunity for the KW Titans here, but yet to take advantage. They've come close, but now back to 7-point deficit. Close this gap.
7 minutes left. 7-point game. The 3-time NBL Canada champions trying to make it 19 of 20 as Blazik draws the foul. It looks like it's going to go on. Indeed, it's on Boyd. Number 4 on Boyd. If it would have been Williamson, who was also in the vicinity, it would have been number 5 for him. So Williamson, White, and Boyd all with 4 fouls in this fourth quarter.
But you know what? Credit Coach Julius for playing the bench game well. And the rest of the coaching staff for staying on top of the foul situation. Haven't been burned by it yet. 6:52 to go in regulation, though. We'll see whether that remains to be the case.
Blazik puts them both in. 5-point game.
Just 6 trips to the free throw line this afternoon for the Titans, if you can believe it.
Friesen, the drive, tries to leave it for Boyd. Loose ball, ends up finding Criswell for the open 3, but can't get it to drop. Wing, thought about it, drives, kick out. Johnson open for 3 again. Can't get that one to go. Whitfield was there for the rebound, but couldn't get it. Back come the Lightning with numbers. Williamson, one-hand floater, drops it in.
Nice teardrop there.
Johnson off the miss 3, hits Blazik, then down low, Whitfield going to work in the post on Herring. Corner 3 for Horton, no good. Trying to cross over at Horton and slows things down with less than 10 on the shot clock. Gets that screen from Criswell, pulls up for 3, in and out.
And London all of a sudden just settling for the 3-ball, 3 straight trips.
Whitfield trying to pass inside for Johnson. A foul going to be called, though. It looks like
it's going to be Williamson.
It was. Garrett Williamson, number 5 on him, so he only has 1 more. That brings us to the halfway point of this fourth quarter, 76-69. They've been able to get it within 3 a few times, but London just seems to have what it takes to always have that margin on the scoreboard. Even if it's slim, they don't seem to want to cough off the lead in this one.
Yeah, the scoreline really just speaks volumes to the lack of offensive touch both these teams have had this afternoon. And really, it's highlighted more with the fact that London, sitting atop the Central Division at this point, has not put up more and taken advantage of the miscues by the Titans. Both teams scuffling along, but you know, it's sometimes teams that have won games as much as the Lightning have find ways to win. The question remains now whether the Titans can maybe come away and steal a victory on home floor.
Titans 6-5 at home this year. On the road, they've struggled significantly more at just 5-10. London, one of their only 4 losses in the entire season, came here at the Odd a Sunday afternoon. And the Titans pulled it off in overtime for their first home franchise win.
Let's hear it for your KW Titans dance back.
Certainly a special day on that one. Good crowd this afternoon at the Odd in Kitchener. Good contingent of London fans as well, making the trip up to 401. And chatting with Coach Julius, or rather I should say GM Stu Julius of the Titans, talking about all the roster moves they made right up until the March 15 roster deadline. Busy kind of last couple of weeks, I suppose, with all the movement, and his comment was, I don't want to have to do that for a long time or ever again. It's a lot of work behind the scenes that GMs for each club really across the NBL Canada have to deal with.
Flynard Whitfield steps up and puts both in from the charity stripe. Royce White, Garrett Williamson, Julian Boyd, and Joel Friesen all back into the game for London. Williamson and White have 5. Here's White going to work in the post outside. Boyd 3-ball, but can't get it to drop. And wing there for the board. 5 minutes to play until 5.
Coach Lang is urging his team on, pick up the tempo.
Whitfield trying to go one-on-one with Boyd outside to Blazik, gets the screen, right-hand dribble outside. Calise steps into one. Can't get it to drop. Whitfield aggressive on the boards, can't get it to go. And Royce White somehow swallows up that rebound.
Tough for Whitfield. He banked it right off the bottom of the rim. Just a tough angle to be shooting from. And Calise is going to get the foul call here on White.
Jason Calise is called for the foul. That is his 3rd, team's 4th.
3 on Calise. He has 6 points on the day. Just 1 for 9 from the field. Last game, Friday, lost to Orangeville. He led all scorers with 21 points and knocked down 5 3-pointers.
In the comfy confines of the Athletic Institute. Still got to make my way down there sometime.
Intimate atmosphere for sure. Blazik, Whitfield, open 3, gets it to drop. Flynard Whitfield having quite the afternoon, 14 points and 13 rebounds.
The second 3-ball right there puts him up to 13 points, as he said. The double-double man for the afternoon.
2-point game. White backing in. Can't get it to drop. Cooper stood his ground defensively.
Kitchener with a chance to at least tie here on this possession.
Blazik trying to roll out to his left. The offensive foul.
Cooper tried to come up for that high screen, and his feet were moving there, and nearly threw Doug Herring Jr. right off his feet as well. Trying to fight through it.
Possession game. This place is way too quiet. Make some noise and keep it going.
Herring across the timeline. He's watched by Blazik and has White looking for the pick and roll. And it's stolen. Blazik in all alone, leaves it for Whitfield.
That'll get the fans up from their seats. We've got ourselves a tie ball game with 3:27 to go.
We're all even here at the Odd. 3.5 left. White in the post. Double team, and still draws the foul.
It's going to be Cooper again here from behind, as White had 3 camouflage jerseys right on him.
Yeah, you almost can't see them out there. That's Whitfield actually picking up his first foul of the afternoon, the 14-point, 14-rebound, and counting day for him. White at the line, off the mark on number 1.
How pointless this for second half so far.
White 0 for 2.
Cooper's
And Cooper looked like he was the last one to touch it.
Yeah, they're going
now
to
the officials, it appears they're going to overturn that and see that Cooper swatted that one out of bounds, and it'll be London basketball. They got the call right. As much as the Titans fans don't like it, that is what's important. The Lightning have only lost 4 games all year, 1 to each Central Division opponent. They have never lost twice to the same team this year. That time it's Blazik, and if it was White, he's done.
White, that's not White! 30! On 30! It's on 30!
And that's it. Royce White done for the game. KW in the bonus the rest of the way as the NBA first round pick with the exit 3 minutes left to go in the fourth. And Lightning shorthanded the rest of the night.
And the fans are loving that one as they were hollering for his immediate removal right after that foul call. So the KW Titan faithful cheering a little louder here after, especially this free throw made by Blazik to give the Titans a 1-point lead. Now they're going back to the scorers table, double check things.
White is done with 6. Garrett Williamson also standing right by the table. He has nothing to give, playing with 5 fouls of his own.
Trying to get an ear in on what they're trying to chat about here, or find out about. Well, whatever they went over for seems to be all kosher. Blazik setting up for a second free throw.
78-76, KW leads for the first time in the second half. Phillips against Whitfield, backing in down low, lost the basketball, but a foul called. And it looks like it is going to be on Flanard Whitfield. That's number 2 on Whitfield.
Yeah, he's played a disciplined ball game. Probably his best one so far, I'd say, for the Titans since joining the team.
Phillips drops in number 1.
He's been feasting on the Lightning, though. 18 points just 2 games ago. That was his best one in his 4 games going into this ball game. Now with a double-double.
Tied, that's 78 again. 2:45 to play in the fourth. Caliste working around. Whitfield for 3. Bang! Flanard Whitfield! It's the biggest lead of the day for Kitchener-Waterloo. 81-78.
Whitfield up to 19 points now.
Boyd, Herring, Williamson, 8 on the shot clock. Wants some help from Marvin Phillips. Gets tied up. No foul. Blazik has some room, and he has the 2. Titans up 5.
Williamson ran into the wall that is known as Paul Cooper, resulted in a turnover and a lay-in for Blazik the other way.
Williamson trying to cross over. Blazik inside, throws it up. Can't get it to drop. Loose ball, wing the rebound, and they're less than 2 minutes away.
Hey, it's a big man making an impact here in this final stretch. Whitfield with the 3, Cooper there with a tip away on the defensive board.
Trying to wind that shot clock down. Up 2 possessions. Cooper, Blazik, contested 3. No good. And London's got a minute and a half to work with. Julius not burning a timeout. He still has 3 left. Herring drives and scores.
That was a pretty roll in there.
Back to a 3-point game. 83-80. Ryan Anderson, the sharpshooter, is going to check back in. And what an afternoon for Flanard Whitfield. It's another new acquisition. Jason Caliste with the ball in his hands. He drives, leaves it Whitfield, baseline J, but can't be the hero on that one. London a chance to make it a 1-point game or tie it. 83-80. Final minute here from the odd. Williamson against Whitfield. Williamson to Boyd. Leaves it for Friesen, the sharpshooter out of BC. Down low, Boyd. 2 free throws coming up.
Might not be the prettiest game offensively for either team, but it's set up for an exciting finish here in Kitchener. Now London with an opportunity to get back within 1 on these ensuing free throws. Held to just 12 points so far in this 4th quarter out of the Lightning men.
You mentioned Anderson, who was checking back in, and it's Williamson who heads to the bench. 44.8 seconds left on the game clock. Julian Boyd, good on number 1 so far this season. Boyd at the free throw line, shooting around 75%, and one of the top scorers in the lineup, around 15 points a game tonight. Rather quiet, only 10 points. Reaches double digits, and Coach Langus calls a timeout.
Good timeout here to get organized.
The writing's on the wall, Dan. The Titans have the fate in their hands. Number 1, London is going to be trying to force a turnover out of this inbound. That's a given.
All hands on deck, absolutely.
So the big thing is going to be number 1, getting the ball in, getting it across half. A bucket here of any sorts puts London on their heels. If you get a 2, London looking for a 3 for the tie, or if you happen to get an open 3, then it's a 2-possession game.
And with the way London's shooting 3 balls, 5 of 21, I'd much rather just at least get the 2 and force their hand a little bit. Although a 3 for Kitchener obviously would certainly help seal the deal on this one a little bit. But with a team like London, even playing the odds, it's not always necessarily going to work out in your favor.
Leonard Whitfield getting the ball again.
Why not? Feed the hand that's hot and feed the hand that's feeding it.
19 points, 14 rebounds. Whitfield coming out party. Just his 5th appearance in a Titans uniform. 44.8 seconds is what they'll have to work with. Mentioned earlier in the quarter, London 22-4 on the year. All 4 losses coming to each individual team in the Central Division. They have never lost to the same team twice in a year.
They were certainly excited to get the likes of Leonard Whitfield in the rotation. Added some size, and certainly has showed some shooting prowess as well.
20-second differential game clock, shot clock. It's Kalist, who's watched by Friesen defensively, 10 to shoot. Kalist, wing, 5 to shoot. Wing the push off, no call. 2 to shoot. Cooper doesn't get the shot off, and London stands tall with a shot clock violation with 20 seconds left.
Outstanding work by the Lightning there. Really no options aside from lobbing in for Cooper, and by that point, you already had 3 on the shot clock. Once he lost the handle on the basketball, it was game over at that point in terms of that possession. Now London looking to make an official game over with the ball back in their hands with 20 seconds exactly to go on the game clock.
Not at all what you want out of that timeout if you're the KW Titans. 83-82 the score. The Lightning will have the basketball as Kyle Julius has burned a timeout here with 20 seconds left. Both teams still with 2 each.
We already saw one team earlier this season defeat the Titans after a back-and-forth battle on a deep 2 at the buzzer to win it.
Halifax who came in, who at the time was the #1 team in the country, now the new #1 team in the country, the London Lightning.
So KW with a chance at having beaten the Halifax Hurricanes didn't work out in their favor. How will this transpire in a similar situation this afternoon?
On the floor looking for the defensive stand, it's Adam Wing, Cavell Johnson, Adam Blazik, Leonard Whitfield, and Jason Kalist. don't forget that Royce White is done. 6 fouls on the day. He finishes with 14 points and 4 rebounds. Underwhelming by his standards. Onto the floor for London, it's the sharpshooters Ryan Anderson, Joel Friesen, and then the big men Marvin Phillips, Julian Boyd, and Doug Herring Jr., another one of the top small forwards in the division on. Boyd gets the ball in to Herring. He's watched by Blazek. Friesen, the pump fake, Friesen the drive, Friesen fouled. 2 shots at the line coming up for the University of Alberta product, Joel Friesen.
Absolutely the right call there, as Friesen talked about earlier in the broadcast. Jack of all trades, they've been leaning on him so heavily, and now a chance to give the Lightning a 1-point lead.
Friesen off the mark on number 1. 11.8 seconds left. Friesen looking for the tie, and he gets it.
First 2 free throws on the ball game for Friesen, goes 1 for 2, and as you said, we have a tie ball game with 11.8 ticks remaining on the clock.
And now the fate is once again in the Titans' hands. They have the rest of the game clock to work with.
And there's really no reason why the Titans can't set up for a similar kind of play that London just ran there. I don't want to see them settling for a 3-pointer. Take it right to the rack, garner some contact, and hope that at the very least you're able to get to the free throw line with the game on the line.
It was Joel Friesen picking up his 11th point of the day and tie this game with less than 12 seconds remaining. It was Jason Calise who was forced to foul on that last possession, picking up his 4th of the day. Wing also has 4, no real danger with the end of regulation looming. London is going to send Ryan Anderson, Julian Boyd, Doug Herring Jr., Marvin Phillips, and Joel Friesen onto the floor for KW. It's the exact same lineup that came out to try and stop the Lightning on that last possession. So 11.8 seconds. The Titans inbounding on their far sideline. It's Adam Wing. Caliste. 5 seconds. Watched by Boyd. Caliste gets the pass off to Wing. Almost lost it. He's out of bounds. And London gets the basketball left with 1.2 seconds to go. And London, of course, still with 2 timeouts remaining, will get the ball back. And what has just been a nightmare down the stretch for the Titans. A shot clock violation with an earlier chance when they had the opportunity to put this one to bed. And now there with a chance to win it, they turn the ball over.
I did not like that offensive set. You know, almost immediately, as soon as Caliste started just taking his time, letting the clock wind down, they were waiting for something from the outside. Resulted in a turnover, or an errant pass anyways, that Wing just couldn't reach out to get, and goes out of bounds now with 1.2 seconds from midcourt. London now has a chance to win it themselves.
Hey, how are we here for Titus? How about our mascot Titus out there?
Back on the court for KW, almost the same look, except Cooper will sit this one out, Johnson on.
All right, well, KW's held London to 17 points this quarter. They got to keep it that way. See what happens.
83-83, London inbounding on the far sideline. Herring trying to get it in. Phillips puts it up, and it's blocked at the buzzer. We're going to overtime.
Guess who? Whitfield with the block. on a catch-and-shoot 3 attempt at the buzzer. And we're going to see some overtime action. It's like deja vu between these two teams all over again.
It was another Sunday afternoon in January, just about 2 months ago, these two sides met in OT.
Looking at the KW Titans. Last time they came away with 83 points in regulation. Actually, that's the first time ever in their inaugural season. They've been held to 83 points. Check that. 74 was their lowest output back in February against Windsor. So they able to avoid that mark. It goes back to the point of how much this has been such a low-scoring affair.
And it all started with that first quarter where the Titans couldn't hit a field goal in the first 7 minutes.
Yeah, that was ugly. I think we saw some ugly basketball from both teams. But certainly KW coming out a little slow. Both teams seeing lots of action with it in the last couple of days, and London wraps up their spurt of games tomorrow night.
Quarter number 5, 5 minutes to decide a winner. Another instant classic in the battle of the 401. Wing, the pump fake, the drive, into the corner, Blazek for 3, gets it to go! Adam Blazek knocks down the 3. And believe it or not, I believe that ties the biggest lead today for Kitchener-Waterloo. Not much breathing room whatsoever. Phillips looking to tie, and he does. The response from Marvin Phillips.
Yeah, it seems that every time KW's tried to get that edge, London has had the response. An effective one at that with a 3 ball off the hand of Phillips.
Horton, watched by Marvin Phillips over to wing. Horton steps into a deep 3 ball. No good. Whitfield battling for that rebound and called for the foul. Of course, both teams coming into this 5th quarter in the penalty.
And so it'll be Boyd back to the free throw line. If for whatever reason you're just tuning in, Royce White out of the ballgame, fouled out. Up to 0 points in the second half after putting up 14 in the first 2 quarters.
Boyd rattles in number 1. Perfect at the free throw line today at 5 for 5.
Well, looking at this stat line, 10 of 38 rather, KW. They had a 3 to open up overtime, but 38 way too many from beyond the arc for them.
Especially in a game where you have so many of London's bigs in foul trouble, you expect them to attack a bit more, but find themselves here in the extra frame. 87-86, I believe it should be 88. London with the lead. Flanard Whitfield turn around and way short. Williamson lost the basketball. It's Blazek who got to it. Tries to float it all the way ahead to Whitfield, but poked up in the air by Herring Jr. It will stay Titans ball.
Step too late there as Blazek was looking the wrong way. Finally caught Whitfield waiting for a pass down the length of the floor, but by then the London defender caught up to him and was able to tip it away. Getting up slowly or gingerly, Doug Herring Jr. now. Looks like he got a knock on the shoulder.
Whitfield going to come into the game for Adam Blazek. Excuse me, that's Jason Cleese coming in. So many new faces.
Come on, you've only been away 1 game.
3.5. Cooper also on the floor, trying to battle down low with Phillips. Horton trying to roll off the defender, throws up the tough runner, won't get it to drop.
A bit of a Euro step there, it didn't work out for him.
2 minutes into the overtime, London has outscored KW 4 points to 3, excuse me. It will stay London basketball, and that was a bit of miscommunication. It seemed the Titans thought they were getting the ball back and let it roll out of bounds. So 8 on the shot clock. The yellow jerseys get it back again. Anderson catch and shoot 3, won't go. He's been quiet, has not found that scoring touch this afternoon. Now 0 for 4 from beyond the arc. A former NBL Canada 3-point shootout champion. That time, it's Horton throwing it away. Not happy. He thought Whitfield should have got 2 hands on it. And that'll be turnover number 21.
Both teams not overly effective at protecting the basketball. Both are hovering that 20 mark.
Herring finds Phillips, but he's off the mark. A nice play that time to free up Phillips with space, so couldn't get anything wing. In transition, down low, and it's Whitfield for the lead.
Yeah, there you go, fantastic find there by Wing. Pulled up initially for a shot, but then found Flanard Whitfield at the last second. Well, left wide open in the paint.
88-87, KW the lead. Herring drives and a whistle called before the move inside. It'll be the foul on Horton. He's charged with his 4th of the afternoon.
It's been a frustrating day for him, just the 6 points with 5 dimes.
.207 to go, and it's Herring once again at the free throw line, and his 5th trip today, 7 for 8, in and out on number 1.
Time and place, ref, come on.
Herring with the make, ties it once again, 88 aside. Horton, the left-hand drive, rises up over Boyd and puts it in. What a move to the hoop from Ed Horton.
Wow. I really have no words for that one. Just a lot of skill in that play as Horton fell into the first sign of billboards as well after the fact.
Boyd rattles it in, ties the game again, 90 aside.
Back and forth we go.
A minute and a half left.
Both these teams slugging it out, punch, counter punch.
Whitfield misses that corner 3. Anderson for 3, can't get it to go.
Heavy on the touch, wasn't even close. Now KW trying to settle things down with under a minute to go in overtime. Tie ball game.
Kalist against Friesen, tie ball game with 45 seconds to go. Works it down low. Cooper trying to drive baseline, kicks in the corner. Wing, Whitfield, he stepped out. It was Wing. Wing stepped into the painted area. Onto the sideline, and
can't have those kind of mental errors here in overtime. It's the difference between winning and losing ball games potentially.
Phillips for 3. Puts it in. Phillips, the friendly bounce. And with 24 seconds left, Marvin Phillips has given London the 3-point edge.
Talking about 3-pointers not being favorable anyways to both of these teams, but a big time shot right there for London, giving them the 3-point lead, the first 3-pointer, or second rather, of the game from Marvin Phillips. Now with 24.5 left, does KW have yet another response? We talked about how just keep going back and forth, you're back and forth. Sooner or later, one of these teams have to falter. I wouldn't mind seeing this game go all afternoon, but I'm sure these head coaches wouldn't.
Phillips relatively quiet, especially in the first half, but has come alive in the fourth and in overtime. As you mentioned, 14 points and 8 rebounds, and possibly overshadow the huge day from Flenard Whitfield, who has 21 points and 16 rebounds.
And also putting together, if you will, a point total, and Adam Blazek, 21 points to his name along with Flenard Whitfield, but again, it just drastically drops off there for the Titans, as London with 5 players in double digits.
Titans with no timeouts left. If they happen to tie it here, London does have one left to burn. It's Wing inbounding. Horton off the inbounds, looking for a 3-point shot, trying to split the floor with Horton on the wing. Horton for the tie, won't go. Cooper fighting for that rebound. It's Herring that gets to it, and Horton forced to intentionally foul with 11 seconds on the clock.
A couple baskets here should do it. Even one, I suppose, with 11.4 seconds. Lightning will try to make it even tougher here, and all of a sudden things are going in their favor as they close in on sneaking away with a road victory in Kitchener.
Herring, trip number 6 today at the free throw line, and he puts that one in. Herring puts in the second, and now they have to hurry. Caliste, Whitfield, pass block goes into the second row. 5 seconds on the clock now. A 5-point game.
As London's playing off defensively here, no fouls.
Whitfield gonna have to put a shot up. Steps back for 3, misses it, and London seals the season series win with an absolute thriller today at the odd. 95-90, the final. Anytime that you lose by 5 in overtime to London, it looks pretty good, and you think you have to be happy with that, but just based on the way the game started, things could have gone a lot differently in a positive direction for these Titans.
It's another one that got away for KW here. They had a chance to win with seconds remaining in the fourth quarter, just couldn't find a way to close it out. Fortunate really to come away tied after regulation, and in overtime, a couple miscues, and resulted in points for London the other way, and that's all she wrote for KW.
That was absolutely it. They had their chances. Two things that stick out later, those 2 possessions, of course, the shot clock violation, then the turnover where Wing stepped out, where they had a chance to first ice it, and then tied. They had the game tied, a chance to take the lead. So a couple miscues, but one positive thing, the new acquisition, Flenard Whitfield, paying off with a map double.
Absolutely, 21 points, and I believe it's 15 rebounds total when it came down to it. Check that, 16 rebounds at the end of the day, so I guess you could put an asterisk beside his name. Would like to have a W to go along with it, but now KW loses a 4th straight. We'll head onto the road again on Thursday night to Niagara against the last place River Lions, and look to break that skid, whereas London will welcome Orangeville A's to the Budweiser Gardens tomorrow night to extend this now 5-game winning streak.
London wraps up the back-to-back tomorrow. Meanwhile, as you mentioned, KW in action against Niagara. We'll be back on Saturday. Of course, the Windsor Express in town. Saturday night action from the odd as
7 p.m. tip-off.
hopefully by then the Titans will have snapped that 3-game losing streak and will be looking to piece together a few consecutive W's. We'd like to thank you all for tuning in again today. 95-90 the final. The Lightning defeat the Titans in overtime. For Dan Paulchuk, I'm Ian Jodry. Enjoy the rest of your day.